and guests. Would you agree if I told you that your communication style mirrors your personality? It would seem natural, wouldn't it? You wouldn't see an aggressive guy with the personality of a withering flower. Today, I'll talk to you about communication styles and how my communication style has changed over the years, because I believe my personality has changed. Do you know your communication styles? Anyone in the group who's probably done this would probably know that. If you haven't, Pathways has a very simple way to do that. You answer a few questions and you find out. I found out, in fact, I discovered that I had a direct communication style. Now, according to Pathways, that means I'm results-oriented, I'm focused, I'm competitive. Now, honestly, I was very impressed with what I found out, but I have to admit, if I communicated with my wife the same way, she would not be impressed at all. My friends, that is the crux of the matter. I should not be communicating in my natural style all the time if I want to be effective. Why not? Because people have different personalities. They get information interpreted different ways. So Pathways talks about 3 other styles, and you'll see that in the handout that I've given you. They talk about the analytic style, people who are precise, disciplined, are conscientious. The initiating styles, who are sociable, persuasive, they're enthusiastic. Think about DJ there. Supportive, people who are patient. They're cooperative. They're sympathetic. But no one really fits into one of these buckets really clean. We all have a dominant style and we have other styles we work on. So in my case, my dominant style is being direct. And you'll see in the handout how they rated me on the other ones. I was considered number 2 on supportive, number 3 on initiating, number 4 on analytical. For heaven's sakes, that really surprised me. I'm an engineer by training, and I'm number 4 in analytical. Something must have changed. I think I have changed. To give you an example of how my communication style is used at work, let me throw a couple of stories at you. 30 years ago, I was at a point in my career where I was an engineer and I had a choice of moving into business development. As an engineer, I was analytical. And I communicated with people with my analytical style, and there were no issues. But I had this opportunity in the same company to join a mergers and acquisitions team, and I took it. Well, my analytical skills and my results-driven approach fitted right in, but I found myself lacking in a couple of areas. I remember this incident. We were looking at a company to acquire and had organized a demo in Washington, D.C. So I flew over there for a day trip, and a bunch of senior managers in the company went there. We had a meeting, the demonstration. There was a lady who owned this company. Everything was fine. The demo was done. I thanked everyone for showing up. I took the next flight home. Next morning, I'm at my desk working. My boss, Dan Cornett, shows up. He says, "Kumar, I got a call from the lady who was organizing in her company, and she was really disappointed in how you communicated. She was disappointed that I was so matter of fact." I was surprised. I asked Dan, I said, "Dan, can you be honest with me and tell me what I need to work on?" And he was very, very frank and honest and blunt. And it was all about soft skills. I was analytical. I was also direct because that was my profile, and he asked me to work on a couple of things. Now, fast forward 30 years, I'm in a different business. Okay, I work in my own company. We're consulting services in the healthcare space. You know, our clients are doctors' offices. And you probably know doctors are wonderful at healing patients, but they are not very good at running their businesses. One of the services we offer is called revenue cycle management. What is revenue cycle management is nothing else than making sure the business of getting paid for the insurance claims is done well. So what do? We go in, we analyze their process, we look at, suggest ways to improve things, and we train them. I have to tell you this, selling this to a prospective client is a challenge. I cannot use my direct style of communication. My clients are typically the profile which I would call supportive. They are patient, they're sympathetic, and probably for those very characteristics, they are in the healthcare field. So I have to learn to communicate with them in a very different way. So I have to talk to them about their services. How can we do something that makes it easier for the patient to pay their bills? Well, you can, if you use our recommendations, you would get a better cash flow, perhaps even get a Christmas bonus. You could pay all the employees on time. Of course, of course we're going to save them money, but we can't start with that value proposition. If I approached them with a spreadsheet and talked about ROI, I probably wouldn't get very far in that discussion. You get the picture. I feel over the years, my communication style has changed from being analytical and direct to being direct and supportive. In fact, research has shown that over a 50-year life, the University of Texas has done this research, over a 50-year life, people's personalities change. And so does our communication styles. So if you're young and you're running into these communication challenges like I had and want to learn to communicate effectively, you have hope. I'll tell you, I'm still working on mine. Toastmasters.
That was great.